Who do you think is more valuable? Let me rephrase that. Who do you think gets more money? Jonathan Bernier or Devan Dubnyk?
Oh, Bernier. Bernier right now. I mean, Dubnyk's on one of those hot streaks, which is good on him. The Minnesota Wild, and probably Edmonton looks and says, you know what, why can we not get that kind of goaltending? But I say right now Bernier, but
I would say Bernier as well. Too small a body of work. It's been a very impressive body of work by Dubnyk with the Wild.
He's got them back in this
shutouts.
race.
He's got them
in
the
9
race.
games.
And they are the second hottest team in the NHL because they snuck a peek there. Tied with St. Louis in that regard, behind Detroit. But, you know, you got to see how this thing finishes out over the remainder of the regular season. But good on him. It's been an impressive run.
Part of that's tongue-in-cheek, but it also speaks to Bernier's performance this season and the rebuild of Devan Dubnyk's hockey career. From where he was at the end of last year as the 6th guy in Montreal in the playoff run, and now to going to Arizona and Minnesota.
Well, and a couple of years ago, he won the Spangler Cup. Remember that for Canada, and during the lockout, and came back. And a good guy. And as far as when you interview him and that, and I thought great attitude and was really looking to embrace the Oilers situation, but it just shows the ups and downs that go where, you know, you trade a goaltender and then a Columbus is done, and then the guy that you traded becomes a star somewhere else. And, you know, it's interesting, the ebbs and flows and the lack of, if you got a Carey Price or a Pekka Rinne or a Henrik Lundqvist, I mean, it just shows how valuable those guys are that when you've got goaltending locked down like that.
But you said good guy, and it's interesting because Chuck Fletcher, when he was looking around at the various options that might have been out there, he said everybody he talked to about Devan Dubnyk said he's a good guy, a good teammate, an honest, hardworking kid, but that character reference was right there.
There will be some that say he's playing in Minnesota for a Wild organization that plays a great system. But it's also a Wild organization that is outside the playoff picture, 5 points back of a postseason berth. So it can't be that easy.
It's funny.
Just step in.
He's doing what a decade ago Dwayne Rollison left Minnesota and did for Edmonton. You know, as far as that was a single difference in them making it to the playoffs and getting to the final, except that was a little bit less expected. Minnesota, you talk about heat places. Like I said, with Detroit, I think there's just a body of work there that they work their best. If they win the Stanley Cup, great. If they don't, it's not going to be the end of the world. But out west, there's so many teams that have to either win the Cup or Minnesota, based on those free agent signings a couple of years ago, have to get in the playoffs. And it's kind of like that pickup, that nondescript pickup like Edmonton did with Rollison that they're doing with Dubnyk.
But I think, didn't they wheel like 7 different goalies through there last year? Yeah. So not to diminish what he's doing, but they've had a lot of different goalers there.
But Bruce Golov ended up being the guy in the playoffs.
That's right, yeah.